What is up? This is Matt from WorkHustleFreedom.com, and today we're going to take a look at how to calculate gross profit, aka how to tell if your business is actually making money, something very important to know. Now, as we've probably heard 1,000 times, cash is king when it comes to business, but it is also the lifeblood of your business. If you run out of cash, you will go bankrupt. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Of course, you can borrow money, but then again, you're just borrowing from later cash reserves or later cash flows in order to fund your current activities. Not a good situation to be in. So no matter what level you're at, whether you're a student, whether or not you're a seasoned professional, whether or not you never have any kind of exposure to any kind of accounting, this is something as an entrepreneur you should know. So what you'll learn today, we will look at the biggest lie in e-commerce. It's something that's so prevalent on the socials. We're going to debunk it right now and dig inside to the truth. We are going to talk about how to calculate your gross margin. This is something that you should know. Also, along with that, we're going to talk about how to calculate your net income. These two components are vital to ensuring you have a healthy business. Now, we're not going to just give you the calculations and say, go figure it out. If you stick around to the end, we're going to show you how you can access our easy-to-use spreadsheet that can help you with these calculations. So let's get started. What's the biggest lie in e-commerce? Drum roll, please. The screenshot. Now, I blocked this person's name out, and also that's not the way they actually look, but they might as well be because they are all jokers posting this stuff. Now, I understand some of these guys are truly excited about the numbers they're doing, but there are a vast majority and a growing majority of people now that are posting screenshots like this to sell you a dream of coaching or something like that, and this is purely a recruitment tool. And I think it's shameful, and I think either they should know better or they don't know better. Either way, we're going to nip it right now. So what's the problem? There's an inflated perception of the amount of money that actually stays with the proud store owner. As I said, this is often intentional. Just because this person says they did 10K per month store 2 does not mean they're taking home 10K. Believe me, we're going to take a look at that right now. So what is gross profit? Gross profit takes your sales revenue, so how many sales at $10,800 that person made, subtracts out their cost of goods sold, and that gives you your gross profit. Now, cost of goods sold include the things that it take you to produce the item that you sold. So let's take a look at an example. T-shirts, a Future Millionaire t-shirt, great t-shirt, not mine, just one I found, but I figured it's appropriate since you are all future millionaires. So let's take a look at the gross profit example using this t-shirt as our example. So let's say the sales price is $29.94 or $24.95 because it's a high-end, very high-quality shirt, American made, plus $4.99 shipping and handling. That's our revenue number. So that's our sales. The cost of goods sold, we'll just have an example of $14.50 total. It's $11 plus $3.50 shipping, means that your gross profit is $15.44, which is calculated by taking your sales price of the item, $29.94, and subtracting out your COGS, cost of goods sold, which is $14.50. Seems to be easy enough, but that's not the whole picture. What's missing from this picture? The truth, the lies? Well, there's other costs. So not only are there product costs, when you get big, like that person was doing almost 600 orders, and their average order value was actually only like probably less than $20. I think it was actually around $18. But there's other things like VA salaries for order processing, because you're going to need other people to do it unless you want to have another full-time job. You're going to have customer service salaries. I cannot tell you how much I recommend that you outsource customer service right away. Because if you don't, not right away, sorry, as soon as you can afford it, because if you don't, it's going to basically pull you in two directions. You're going to want to grow your business. You're going to see the ugly underbelly that happens with customer service, and it's going to kind of make you conflicted. Not only that, these are jobs that are going to take away your time. And as we know, time is our most precious asset. So you want to make sure that you're focusing your time as the owner on revenue producing activities that will build the business, not the back end. This is something that's easily outsourced to somebody else, and it will serve your business well to do just that. Now, I'm not saying customer service is all bad, because There are great experiences, positive customer experiences that you can also be a part of by being involved in customer service, which I think you should. But if you're the primary person in there, it's going to beat you down. I can tell you from experience. I mean, you've seen Facebook. If somebody posts something that they don't agree with, how everything can kind of like blow up and people just say whatever they want. Well, imagine that at scale when you're running hundreds of thousands of dollars of ads. Just imagine the number of crazy people that you reach, and it only takes one to make your life really, really fun. So, not to get off on a bit of a tangent there, but there's other items to consider. Shopping cart fees. Now, in this case, we would call it these Shopify fees. If you're going to use Shopify for your e-commerce platform, these fees typically range from 3 to 4%, and that can be a significant amount of money. So you don't want to just discard it and not include it in your calculations. Also, things like returns or chargebacks. Some of the people out there that are doing these $10,800 stores are doing overseas arbitrage. They're doing dropship stores. So I can tell you again from experience, you're going to get hit with these chargebacks, returns. People, even if you tell someone it's going to take longer, they're going to complain. They're going to do chargebacks. Not only will they take the money that they gave you, but then a lot of times your processor, like for instance, if it's Stripe, will actually tack on a $15 fee or $30 fee for every time you have a chargeback. So they'll report it as fraudulent or something like that. And if you have enough of them, you can actually lose your account. So beyond that, there's something that these people don't talk about at all, and that's ad costs. Ad costs are a growing expense in every online business who basically like relies on the paid advertising acquisition model. So when we take all these costs, so beyond product costs, all these other costs are what we need to know in order to establish what our net income is. So let's look at this Future Millionaire shirt. So our sales price was $29.94. We subtracted our cost of goods sold of $14.50. It gave us a $15.44 gross profit. Now, very conservatively, we could say, well, our ad cost will probably be about $10. Our cart cost, assuming 3%, will probably be around $1. Now, remember, your cart cost is basically for Shopify. We'll look at this closely, but it's a per transaction fee plus a percentage of sales. So we'll look at that. But basically, we kind of figured it out to be about 3% on average. Employee salary, this is kind of hard to figure out on a per order basis, but let's just say it's $1.50. That's pretty fair, especially if they're doing, if one person is doing 40-hour weeks and we do 50 to 60 orders a day, figure about $1.50. And then the net income, if you look at that, is only $2.94, which means your net income is only about 10% of your sales. So that person that said they were doing $10,800, if they're doing 10%, it's basically about, $1,000. So it's something to keep in mind when you're looking at these screenshots is that, yeah, it looks great to do sales like that. And of course, there's other, things to consider like back-end sales or lifetime value of a customer. But most of these people aren't doing that. Most of these people are just doing it in order to get you to buy a course. Now, beyond my whole rant about that, you need to know what your net income is in order to prove you have a healthy business model. If you just make sales, that's easy. You can easily run a business at a loss and you're making sales and think, wow, we did $1 million this year. Yeah, but you did it at a loss. And there's other books out. There's lots of books out there. For example, Ready, Fire, Aim is a book that I love and actually recommend, and it's on our books list. So check that out at our website, workhustlefreedom.com. It actually says that most businesses that get to $1 million are at break even. If they're lucky, most are underwater in terms of actually losing money up until that first million. So it's not all that uncommon to run at a very slim margin when you're starting out. So now let's look at Nike's gross profit. Here's the financial anatomy of a $100 Nike shoe. You got various costs. You have the cost to produce, you have freight, you have marketing, you have overhead expenses, you have income taxes, you have the retailer margin. What it all boils down to is Nike's basically making about $5 profit on every $100 shoe that they make. So that's about 5%. Now, granted, they are doing it at such a huge scale, it nets to a good chunk of change. But it's not that uncommon to have. Like if you have a net income of 10%, 15%, I mean, it's not to say you don't have a sustainable business. You just have to know those numbers, know how to grow it, know how to either do it at scale. So like 10% of $1 million is still, a decent earning, or you can learn how to learn how to work with your other cost components in order to maximize the net income, maximize your gross profit. But it all starts with getting real about your financial numbers. So what are the takeaways from this? It's not all doomsday, I promise. Do not believe every screenshot you see. Yes, they're probably telling the truth for the most part, although some people like to do Photoshop as well. But it's just not the whole picture, and it's not something that we really want to base our own expectations on. So like if they say we made 10,800, doesn't mean they actually took that home. So take that into account. Big takeaway, know your numbers. It's so important. And beyond that, I would even recommend checking your numbers daily. One of the things I do is every morning I check my numbers. Now, when you're starting out, you're going to probably do it yourself, and you should so that you understand it. But eventually, it's something that you can actually outsource to a VA that they can update that night. And then in the morning, you just check a report and you know exactly what the previous day was. I think it's just super key to ensuring you have a sustainable long-term business. Now, remember, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. Now, I know some of this went over a good portion of your heads, and there's nothing wrong with that if you haven't really been exposed to it. It can be a little hard to firmly grasp and get it well established in your mind. But fortunately for you, because we love you, we have a gift today, and it is in the form of an easy button. We are going to share our spreadsheet with you for calculating not only your gross profit, but also your net income on a daily basis. And we'll get to that right now. So if you click the link in the description below, you can get access to our free spreadsheet that helps you calculate your gross profit and your net income. And it basically is pretty simple. We have one tab in here for 1 month. So it's like a 1 month snapshot. Simply right click on the tab here. And then if you hit move or copy, you just create a copy in order to make another version. So like, let's say we're done with September, we want to do October now. You just make one for each month, and then you basically can show here the date goes down the left side in the A column. You want to enter in your orders, your sales, and your cost of goods sold. That'll calculate automatically with the sheet your gross profit and your gross profit margin. Also, your Shopify fees will be calculated. Then you just have to enter in your Facebook spend, or if it's other kinds of ad spend, you enter it here, which will determine your net income automatically and your net profit margin. Here are some actual sample numbers. You can see it gives you a pretty good snapshot of what to expect when you're running an e-commerce store. Now, obviously, depending on what you're selling, your margins can vary, but this is a very consistent perspective to have on what kind of margin you would actually see. And then again, on the right side here, we have a section for notes. If there was anything kind of quirky that happened or anything about that day that you want to remember, you can enter it there. And then if you just look down at the bottom here, it gives your total. So total orders, your sales for the month, cost of goods sold total, gross profit, and so on and so forth. The cool thing here is that it actually can help you notice where you are spending the majority of your money. And it, basically can show how the impact of decreasing your cost of goods sold can have on your business, and also the impact of potentially basically fine-tuning your ad spend, whether that's Facebook or otherwise. At least it gives you an actual representation of your true data. And so this is something that's really important to have, especially as we go into Q4 and sales can go crazy. But even on those lean months, it's even probably more important then to keep an eye on your spend and make sure that you're not overspending. Now, if you want an even more comprehensive training and even easier way to start making money online, then I highly suggest you check out the first link in the description below, which will bring you to this page. And here you'll find our 4-day blueprint on how to build an online business with affiliate marketing. So if you don't know anything about affiliate marketing or building an online business, this is really a great course. It will take you from beginner to advanced in just 4 days. It offers access to our affiliate masterclass. We have training in there for how to get traffic from Facebook, Google. We have access to a private membership or a private group in there for Facebook. And we also have some advanced tracking techniques that are killer. If you sign up here, you'll be taken to this page, which is the first lesson. And this whole course is taught by Franklin Hatchett. Now, if you don't know who Franklin Hatchett is, he's taught extensively on everything from Shopify dropshipping, affiliate marketing, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and he's by far one of the absolute best in the biz. And I also have some training in there to keep you even more motivated to get going on this and to take this stuff to the next level. Now, rest assured, at the end of the course, we don't try to upsell you into some $1,000 course or something like that. In fact, we won't ask you to buy anything from us. Really, you have nothing to lose from taking this course, as it's completely free. And the vast majority of the methods taught here require little or no upfront investment, making it a great way to build an online business, especially if you're just starting out. Now, that said, this is one of those businesses that it can easily replace your 9-to-5 income once you get it going. And at that point, you can either scale it to the moon or focus on other projects, knowing that your monthly expenses will be met with this system. So check it out, and I hope to see you there. If you've made it this far, I just wanted to personally thank you for sticking around and for watching. It means the world to us. If you got any value from this, please do hit the subscribe button. It just helps us to get our word out there when we get new content out. And as you can see, we don't sell courses. We give our information away for free, and we've actually spent thousands and thousands of dollars accumulating the knowledge that we have. And so we give it to you free because we want to truly help people escape the 9-to-5 and to have that life that they want to, of freedom, so they can spend it with their family, spend it working on passion projects that are truly going to impact the world. So again, thanks again for sticking around, and have a great day, and we'll see you soon.